You have emphasized too much the word black, and we've made the same mistake. Black tells you how you look, but it don't tell you who you are. The proper name of a people must always relate to land, history, and culture.
Professor Clark, do you think that we should always judge history in terms of race?
There was no such thing as race in the psyche of the world until the Europeans put it into the psyche of the world. The Africans knew nothing about race and didn't think they belonged to anything called a race. And when the Africans saw the Europeans, because they have a traditional hospitality to strangers, they didn't fight them, they didn't kill, they were curious about them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all right. Welcome back and a welcome into the podcast. Us here, a different view family who believe in. Man, we believe in this. We know. This is for our conscious brothers and sisters who go back and forth in the space between belief and knowledge. We understand what it is. But again, family, there's certain things you got to believe in. There's certain things you got to know. Men and women are supposed to be down here living free. This is going to be a good one this morning. All right. April the 11th, 2026. Not only people who believe and who know, but those who defend. Family, you got to be okay speaking out. You got to be okay defending this thing. I said okay with it. Those who love after. This thing is in love, family. We speak the truth in love. I've been on this one, not really trying to search for what to talk about, but in how to speak, because I don't want to come across one of Massa's great excuses is that those dark brown and tan skin tone folks are speaking from hate. But you can't speak the truth in hate. You're gonna have to speak it in love, right? Still the truth. So it may sting a little bit, you know. Big mama and mama, they go into whooping that ass when you act foolish. It sting a little bit, but it's in the truth. That's different than child abuse, right, family? Yeah, that's different than child abuse. I know we play in a space because we've had people who have been horribly abusive to children. And we understand, and we don't look down on anybody on how they raise their kids, as long as you are teaching them the values of respect and honor, decency and order, respect, family. So we're not going up in the stores acting foolish, talking to anybody all kind of way, just openly talking to strangers. That mess ain't No different than dogs just walking around. Just when you walk in your neighborhood, they just barking unnecessarily. That ain't just that dog's nature. We have control over things, family. There is a time and a place for all things. Not only do we defend family and love after, but we hunger and thirst, search and seek to find that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. The missus and I, shout out to you, honey, one time. Have gone on a Bridgerton journey together, and man, can I tell you what a powerful, man, this thing has got me in that space, family. There's been a few TV shows. Of course, Daredevil Born Again season 2 has been awesome thus far. So has Star Wars Darth Maul Shadow Lord one time. Shout out. Family, all these shows, Bridgerton is the one that we're going to talk about here for a few minutes this morning. Then we're going to go on. We may have a few, we may do this in stages because we want to give this the proper context. We know we have mentioned it in spots, but we really want to get it. We want to dig in a little bit. We want to dig in because this is about society, family, right? Let's just do this real quick in real time. The word society. What does it mean, family? Right? You have to understand, again, the definition of words and phrases. This is coming out of Oxford's dictionary. We're going to do it in real time because this is the first time. I mean, really grouping of people. That's really what it boils down to. But we're going to do it in real time, right? The aggregate of people living together in a more or less ordered community. Okay? Aggregate. Aggregate. Let's go all the way, right? Because, this is Mass's language. Again, much of the stuff that you see in Bridgerton family, this is the Victorian English era, okay? This is, the puffy dresses. This is the Hunger Games in the capital, how these people were living. This is this ornate dressing and all that kind of stuff that was not going all around the world now. So by the time they're doing their travels and, I went here and we went there and all around the square, family, at the end of the day, shout out Frosty the Snowman one time, right? Singing Catch Me If You Can, right? But anyway, Frosty, never mind. At the end of the day, family, understand, right? This is stuff passed down. For as much as it's internally in folks, this is what's been passed. This is the story that has been passed down, that you have to operate a certain way in society in order to be. Dig that. Nope. Again, anytime you get around Massa, know that thing is twisted, family, and they have no problem doing it with themselves. And if you think they'll do it with them, how much worse will they do it with you? Okay. A whole aggregate means a whole formed by combining several typically disparate elements. Again, separate elements. Okay. Different elements. They have a level of difference to them. Okay. Now, again, this is for the combining, right? Let's just do this real quick. Look at this word. Different in kind. Again, your differences. Family, we open up this video here with Dr. Henry Clark. Shout out to you, brother. May you always rest peacefully. It is the European family who introduced this mess into the current grouping of people. From an older one, as the Bible says in Ecclesiastes, one generation passes and another one comes. And the one that passed, let's do it again. Let's do it in real time. As I don't want folks to get thrown off here. We want to keep it right. Ecclesiastes 1 from the King James Version. The scene of the crime, as they say. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit hath the man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? Family, you have to ask yourself that question. What you've been working on, you got profit behind it. And under Master System, we know the dark brown and tan skin tone folks are the ones that have the least profit. I continue. This is verse 4 in Ecclesiastes 1. One generation passes and another comes, but the earth abides forever. The sun rises and sets and hastens to the place where it arose. That's a constant cycle. The wind goes to the south. We've talked about this on the podcast before, but repetition is necessary for learning. That's what we say, right? Turns to the north, whirls around continuously, and then returns back to where it came from. Same thing with the rivers. Verse 7, all the rivers run into the sea. The sea is not full. You know what I'm saying? Don't play. This is for the people who get particular, and normally that comes from like a cynical kind of sarcastic type of thing, because you got to always keep poking holes in things. Again, it's hard for folks to believe a thing. So we go back. The sea is not full unto the place from whence the rivers came. Hitherto, or hither, they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. Again, the planet's working. Right now, we in spring. We call it the new year, right? Soon as that spring equinox hit, that's the new year. We ain't playing around with no Gregorian calendars and all this mess. And folks like to push down, normally anytime, right? Affirmative action, civil rights, DEI, anything that deals in something that gives to life and godliness and away from massa. This is right about the time where the discrediting occurs. Same thing with nature. So you're going to have to, again, you in their system, So New Year's is always going to be right. And we're going to kind of skip over what happens in the spring. Like, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. The flowers are growing and you get the chance to walk out in the park again without a parka on and all that kind of stuff, right? Some big ass coat. But at the end of the day, family, right? It's not as celebrated as the New Year. You ain't got no ball dropping for spring, do you? Okay. Yet still a beautiful celebration is going on because the birds are chirping more. The bunnies are out. Right? Life is springing again. That's a beautiful celebration, family. All things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done. There is no new thing under the sun. With that in mind, since we're talking about Bridgerton, check out this clip from season 3. We just started 4, so we're gonna catch up to the rest of the group. Check out this from 3. We gotta have a good conversation about season 3, since folk have a problem with the big girl out there. Again, back then when it said childbearing hips. Now, we have to stop to talk about this for a second. Childbearing hips, and this is no cut on our sisters. Ladies, stand up one time and testify. Again, the man ruled through imagery, family, and imagery through words, because we think in words. Okay? What we think gonna come out in them words, family. We think in words. Okay? Imagery creates thought, which we're gonna get into some of the imagery here because Massa always playing around in the space. And we caught the play. We're gonna talk about it, right? Again, Bridgerton, family. Bridgerton. Lord, to our black community, man, y'all don't you pass up on this show. You watching Power and everything else, man. You watch this show. We being for real. These people affected your way of life. It's time to peer in the window and see what's going on in their mind. This show plays very heavily on the interracial, intercultural space. So there's just some things we have to have a conversation about. Now this one is interesting. Again, because this scene is a man standing up on his honor, which is a place where men have to come back to. With that said, let's get into the clip. Let's go.
This is how I hear of my daughter's engagement. You hide out in your room all day, and you let me read about it in Whistledown.
I did not much feel like announcing the happy news to you.
Happy? Is that what you think this is?
What else could it be? I am to be married.
Lord Dabbling, what a reasonable match. A reach, to be sure, but with all his eccentricities, it was a secure match.
So we just want to pause right here, right into 30 seconds, family, because there's only so much of this garbage that I can take. What do we mean getting married for a secure match? They're going to go on to explain. What is a secure match? You have to ask yourself the question, fam. We just asking questions, right? Questions bring understanding. They bring knowledge. So, hey, what's a secure match for you? Man, I wish all of this had come out like by Valentine's Day. This would have been nice, but it don't matter because relationships happen all the time. Family, what's a secure match? Mama Farrington here. They say lady, Mama Farrington here talking to her daughter Penelope, right? This is the bigger woman that everybody had a problem with last season. Don't know why. You have no problem with. Ooh, brother, say it. Okay, you got no problem laying down with that big woman. We know we all like a woman with a big butt, don't we? Brothers done made a song about it. Look at her over there. She one of them rap guys. Girlfriends, huh? Come on now. Talk to me, Sir Mix-a-Lots out there. Fans, talk to me. Now, we gotta stop the hoax, family. Living off of masses deception. We gotta stop, family. We are hurting ourselves. We are hurting women. Well, women don't have no feelings. The big women don't have no feelings, family. We just asking questions. We know the society given was for the skinnier women. We asking, do the big women have feelings, brothers? What are we doing? Are they not deserving of love? Does everything have to be with a corset on to give you? Check this out. They made the corset to have a figure. You go look it up. This is history on the books. We're not telling you no conjecture. They made the corset to give you this hourglass figure because they liked them curves on the big woman. They just didn't want the big woman. Do you understand? That's all what this society mess was back then. Don't worry. All have sinned. So you can look through different societies, and while that thing is not, through the roof, different place, that you see it all over the place, family, right? We have acted improperly with the woman in our life. You can go from the Bible, anything, family. From the first, or again, what we see is the first man and woman here. What's going on? You telling me that's not deception? That's deception. We ain't doing it for love no more. We doing it for money. We doing it for profit. We doing it for mammon. You cannot serve God in mammon, though. Wonder why relationships are the way they are. Some of them work, some of them don't. Not all of that is because of the law of averages, family. We are doing harm to each other. This one must be this smart in order for me to be around him. And again, personal preference is a thing, family, but we have taken that and put it on steroids at this point, damn it. It's gone too far. You won't even give a look to your nerdy brother and sister, geeky brother and sister, because of the fact of what society has told you, not because you looked with your own two eyes, which is the beauty of the miracles with Christ, especially with the blind. Look again. See something you haven't seen before. That's the heart and the crux of this podcast. I'm done on what they keep saying. They can keep talking about this war in Iran. All we know is that Massa wants the resources there, which in the East has always been oil or opium. Again, as is said by our Muslim brothers and sisters, our cousins in the Abrahamic household of faith, for those who get too high on their horse, that at the end of the day, God means gold, oil, and drugs, or diamonds if you're talking about over in Africa with Rwanda. You're okay taking what is not yours, doing things for no purpose. These folks got married just to pass around money and status because that's their God to them. You had the church involved in this, some base ass preacher, dried up. He had no personality at all, trying to bring God into the sickness. That's why I don't get down with a lot of this mess, family. I'm sorry. You gonna ask me to sit up in a service for an hour, take my money. People got bills to pay. Y'all stack dollars from everybody all the time. When people come back to you and tell you about it, you kick them out of the church. That's hellish. At the very least, that's hellish. Your boy, go on, man. Let's continue.
And you've thrown that away to play out what? A fancy on the neighbor boy, who happens to be the most desired man of the season.
Can a woman love a man? See, again, we listening to Massa. Can a woman love a man? Sisters, we asking questions right now. We know there's a good portion of the population of the podcast who is female. Can a sister, this is not taken away from the homosexual part of this. Because they do deal with that in season 3. But we gonna start with season 1. This is just to start off here, because this is the crux between all of this. Can a woman love a man? Just that alone. Nothing else. Not the money, not the car, not the house, although right, let's the feelings you have, the fealty that you'll have for a person, the ability to stand with them thick and thin, family. Hello here. We are going to fall on hard times. Definitely you dealing in Massa system. You are dealing in Massa system. So the dark brown and tan skin tone brothers, they live under constant barrage from Massa. So they're always going to have something they fighting over and fighting through, and that this is what the man created. Not black men, not brown men, not Asian men. Massa created this and put folks and keep people at the bottom. Chinese Exclusion Act, you write that up? But you wanted them working your railroads, though, family. We're going to tell the truth over here. What are we doing? You think the same people like that now, then, the descendants today have changed in their mind? Hell no, they haven't. So we may want to think twice before we become buddy-buddy with folks like that. Family, listen to what I'm saying. Folks like that. Anybody who wants to get away, Penelope wanted to get away from this mess. She ain't. See, your Bible says that if you love this life, you will lose it. And when it's talking about this life, family, it's this sickness. It's this, I got to step on somebody for me to be something, not realizing who you are. Because if you realize who you are, you don't have to step on nobody. I am me. A space has been created already because I'm myself. Whew, Lord, you're you already. What you trying to be somebody else for? Shine and be yourself. And that's all what this show deals with, which I give a lot of credit, man. I give credit to the producers and the directors for even going down in this space. Again, we understand it's master system, so entertainment has a little bit of funk to it, okay? But still, those who stood up to even tackle this, we congratulate y'all. I am myself. I don't need to be you. Man, we got people. This happens in the family. But again, what we done said on this podcast, y'all, what happens out in the street happens in the home first. Mothers telling their daughters to get married, not for love, but for money. Good Lord, man. Let's continue.
I don't think it's unreasonable. Colin cares for me.
Has he told you that he loves you?
Now, sisters, I will say this, because this is about keeping brothers in check. This especially for the fool-headed ones. Colin was very fool-headed. We ain't even gonna act in the space like Colin wasn't fool-headed. Sisters, if you get again, everybody sows their oats. It's unfortunately in a society where they villainize the woman for wanting to do so, but encourage the man to do so. That's imbalanced. Both of y'all should be out there sowing your wild oats if we're gonna keep it funky, or you save yourself for each other. See, this is why I can't play in this space anymore. I refuse to play in this space off the Bible, of which crooked government officials and preachers and everybody else was using back then. Good old King James. See, this is why we read from the King James, family. You got all these creeds, you want to kick out books for the Apocrypha and all these other things talking about what's gonna keep people off the path, meanwhile using the Bible to keep people off the path. See, Christ said it best when he said the converts you making, talking to the holy people back then, the converts you making, you gonna make them twice the child of hell, because that's all they got for you is nothing but damnation, not just in the life to come. This one right here, the woman has to live regulated to the wills of a man. Children have to live regulated to the wills of the parent. And parents teaching their kids to live to the wills of Massa. Sickness are we dealing with, fam? What sickness are we dealing with? That is not what God has. That is not what's been made, family. And for as much as we hold on to it, we hold on to our destruction. Again, whenever you see Massa involved, we done said it, and we'll continue to say it. Division. This is division that Lady Farrington is sowing between her and her daughter. That comes out later in the season. We'll see how it unfolds throughout season 4. And again, there is a little bit, we have to say this, right? As a fan of the show, because I am a fan of the show, we like seeing it's good to go peer in the window, as we like to say on this podcast, right? At the end of the day, whether it be COVID, whether it be SAG strikes, whatever it is, the production got weird from season 2 into season 3. You can tell it's like, it got really robotic. Okay, it got really robotic. It got CGI-ish. Like you could tell. Okay, just keep it. Listen. They're going into season 5. They've been approved for season 5, right? We'll see how this goes. We're going to see how it, again, keep to an original. See, again, Star Wars done made errors with this, even though with this Darth Maul thing, they've gone back. See, again, you got to go back to the Genesis, right? Go back to the beginning of a thing to find out what's going on here. So, hopefully with Avengers Doomsday, they go back into what got you your success. That's how you do it. Brothers, black brothers and sisters, stand on your square and let's band together. It don't matter if we're homosexual. It don't matter if we're transgender. It don't matter if we're married to the so-called white woman or the white man. It don't matter if we're married to the so-called Asian. It doesn't matter if we're married to the so-called Mexican or Latin brother and sister. It doesn't matter if we're married to some Hawaiian somewhere or a Samoan. Brothers and sisters, this is about black love. This is about love down here in general. We have to let go of this mess because we look like Massa. It is Massa that came out with the Racial Integrity Act of 1924. Using God's name to say there was a holiness solely for white folks and no one else, and they should not, because of a system they were trying to create. They twisted the law of love to tell white folks they can only be to be recognized. Where else have you seen this lack of recognition? Yeah, that's what every tribe of dark-skinned folks they called Indians back then that they don't recognize today. And any other tribe that they called Indian, native to these lands when the European came here. That folks hide behind the descendants, hide behind to this day. And their friends, of course. Family is wrong. No, we know they're saying it's right. We're saying it's wrong. The other group here, family, we can clearly see, right, is saying it's wrong. We believe them. Why? Because you can see it, family. You're looking at the books. They came here calling it New World, and it wasn't new. It was new to them. Let's continue.
Not in those exact words.
We before I finish that off, listen, brothers, stand on your square and love the woman in your life. That's in the story right there. If she good enough for you to, if she's a good enough, look, we've all had toys, family, right? And we're not trying to compare the toys, but we're gonna to say something a certain way here, so that we don't come off too aggressive to certain folks, right? We're gonna have to play around in this space like we're 6 and 5. It's cool to play. Some people play with toys and they're real destructive with them, family, right? Come on, talk to me, right? Some folks like ripping the heads off these Barbie dolls, doing all kinds of stuff, right? They played around with that thought process in the movie Barbie. Okay, girls know this, we know this, okay? But again, they show it to you in real time. I like that because we like seeing it. See, we play around too much in the space, so sometimes it's good to see it. Same thing like when your kids act foolish and you put it on record so they hear themselves acting that foolish. Yeah, same kind of thing. Again, it's time for people keep playing in it. That's why they have a problem with media. It's not only because of the negative things media can be used for to hurt a society. It's also because of the positive ones that hurt mass system. And that's always been a struggle. But anyway, at the end of the day, family, what you see, okay, it's the same thing happens in podcasting. Massa don't need no masses of people talking against this government. How do you think that's going to end? You look at history, you tell me how that's going to end. The British are coming. Family, at the end of the day, maybe we need to be more like your boy. Give me liberty and give me death. Now, we know the words are twisted and whatever's going on at that point, but we want life. We want liberty, family. We don't want no regulation. You on that job, we're supposed to be making a max dollar, not $100 a day. Getting paid $15, $20 an hour, man. You go look what that is during the day. You work 8 hours, $20 an hour, right? You work 8 hours, $160. Is that it? Is that what you're worth? Is that what, wait, because we see on the books what they declare when it come December, November, fourth quarter come around, family, when they go into, hey, we did really good this year. Who do you think made that money for them? Has your benefits increased? I got enough money to do it, family. We're asking, has your benefits increased? You got more personal time? Did they give you an increase on your personal time? Maybe your sick time. Maybe they gave you more than 40 hours of sick time. Huh? Talk to me, family. We playing them around in a space that's dangerous. There's no other way of saying it. There's no other way of saying that. Okay, so just off this alone, yeah, sisters, listen, don't just stop falling for these brothers who don't give a damn about you. They're just a toy. You just a toy. They don't really care about you. They ain't trying to keep you from being broken. None of that kind of stuff. Play with your right. No. We got to be destructive. Get our anger out in a certain way, which that's a separate subject. But that's what you're seeing. Okay. That's why we say don't stop poo-pooing therapy, man. Sit down in the chair and get it right. We deserve it to each other to get it right. Literally, owe nothing but to love them. That's what your Bible says. We owe nothing. We owe to each other. That is the law of love, family. To get this thing right and love each other right. Be involved in people's lives in the space they're in. Stop trying to have people involved in your life. You know what I'm saying? We keep trying to conform a person. No. Be yourself. Right? And let us love each other as we are ourselves. Let's continue.
Penelope. Do you not remember how the Bridgertons treated us like dogs when Marina's scheme was uncovered? And now you've been out till all hours of the night with no chaperone, and then you traipse in this morning with news of an engagement to the very same Bridgerton boy, using Lord knows what wiles to entrap him.
Now, although that we know entrapment is a thing, we said is a thing. Also, entrapment was a thing. At the end of the day, family, that's not what's going on here. The woman loves this boy. It take Colin a minute. Sometimes it take people a minute. Again, you're dealing in a space where people are dealing under high deception. As a result, it take a lot of Irish Spring. Since we over here in the East, some Irish Spring and take some soap to wash the mind. Again, renew your mind by the washing of the water of the word, right? This is what look. Life, let life and godliness renew your mind off this mess. This thing ain't got nothing to do with no race. What race? What you racing? No, Dr. Henry Clark was right. What race? I'm not in no competition. We know that Massa is overly competitive. We know there are some people who are prone to just being overly competitive. That ain't over here. We're good over here. You know what we're talking about? We can have a good game of baseball, or basketball, football, and we're not killing each other. Why do that? Why do that? You can't have a game of basketball. That's why I don't even play with certain folks, man. Listen, if we can't play a spirited game of basketball, still be friends after without having a fight or some gun shooting at a basketball court, why am I even there? If I have to go to church and deal with people who are okay. See, family, we keep looking at, like we talked about Robert Morris last time. This brother's only getting, this dude's only getting 6 months in jail for sexual abuse on a minor, family. Just taking the innocence of people. What do we can play your video right now. It's in my mind right now. A girl and it happened a bunch of years ago. A girl just went right up on the stage, talked to a preacher. Again, be careful that this is a thing for us all, right? So I'm saying, I'm not talking down to nobody. This is a thing for us all. Be careful that your sins will find you out, right? At the end of the day, family, what are we doing? Taking the innocence of children? What are we doing? We're in churches like this and we're not challenging nobody. You would rather talk about a preacher helping folks, and then the ones who are okay filling up on Susie, Samuel, Samantha, and everybody else, whoever, whatever color. What are we doing? You okay clapping hallelujah like that? I am not. I can be around my brothers and sisters of the faith and not have to go to a place, one, taking my money, telling me to stay regulated in master system with very little fight back, and then on the back end of it, need my vote to continue this foolishness that we're seeing going on in these churches. Ain't nobody pissed off yet? Wait. We talking about a God we serve, holy righteous anger, not to go tearing down black towns. We talking about standing in defense against the wolf at the door. Hello? Let's finish this and we're gonna go on about our day. Let's go.
Excuse me.
Mr. Bridgerton is here.
Mr. Bridgerton, what an unexpected delight.
I will not be staying long, but since we are all speaking so freely...
That was not meant for your ears.
I am still speaking. Your daughter did not entrap me. I proposed to her out of love. nothing less. And were you not so narrowly concerned over your own standing, you might see that Penelope is the most eligible amongst you. In the future, I advise you not to sully our Bridgerton name by suggesting otherwise.
Brothers and sisters, that's where we're going to stop for today. Again, this is just an introduction into the Bridgerton series, because we're gonna have a series of conversations on this show, right? We know there's been a touch, there's been a bunch. We're gonna get into the space. We're gonna get into space. We're gonna talk about the show. Again, family, because this is we talking imagery, masses, image, an image, family. Let's again, words and phrases. What is an image? So you just look up image definition. From Oxford's Dictionary, watch this now. A representation of the external form of a person or thing in art. Now, like art, life, art imitates life. So a representation, external, right? An external representation of what you think this person look like, what a thing look like. Family, is this what you think love's supposed to look like? Is this what you think business is supposed to look like? This is an overridden over the original copy, over the original family. Ain't nobody expanding upon the cost of things to an astronomical amount without people having money in their pocket to match the cost. You are operating in masses system. It will always look off. But what I'm waiting for, what humanity is waiting on is some young folks like Colin Bridgerton. We know some people get into space and he was sleeping with a bunch of, he's sleeping with a bunch of hoes and it's not. When does that part happen? When do you stand up? When do we do it? Do we continue to just lay down in the levels of mediocrity? This ain't talking against nobody. We're just saying there's different levels to life. Do we just stand by pat in the status quo? Or do we stand up and speak back and act back against those who are doing us harm? When do we do it, family? And until we do, we ain't got it yet. But when we do, family, my, oh my, rest in peace, Renee Good. Rest in peace, anybody who's been attacked by the government, family. We talking all the way back from the 1700s when it was okay for this government to lay waste to our native brothers and sisters in an attempt of theft. To the Penobscot tribe fighting for their freedom. When British officials put hits out on them to scalp them and kill them, you can find it online, family. We're not putting out conjecture. This is how the man operated, what you watched in Bridgerton. This is how the man operated with the other people groups on the planet. Not just in what they call the Americas, not just here, everywhere. Australia, Asia, everywhere. With their own people in Europe, everywhere. Africa, no doubt. To this day, when Ghana is asking for reparations before United Nations, which we never stop, family. They owe us in every form. Businesses, anything. This is the can of worms they opened by being greedy, by being hateful. We could get into verses in Titus about it, but we're going to wait till next time. We got more to talk. There's always more to speak on when it's talking about life and godliness, just like the opposite. They earned it, family, the way they treated the Asian brother and sister that they invited here, or those who came here seeking asylum and peace. They earned it when they took away the Mexican border from our Mexican brothers and sisters and boiled down what is now called the United States from the holy borders that it was of free peoples living here. Many of them with barely little clothes on. Raising families, loving life, loving God in their own way. They earned it when they attacked women When men, they earned it. When men attack women, their own white woman, the wrong way. Beating them, hurting them, sexually abusing them, physically, mentally abusing them. They earned it. They earned the right for us now to stand up and speak back against. So whatever they throw at us. This isn't speaking violence. This isn't rebel rousing. That's the excuse Massa gives to keep righteousness down. And once you see it, it's hard to unsee it. Family, thank you for walking this road with me today. I love y'all. God bless y'all. I mean nothing but good will and wishes to y'all, family. We are never ever talking down to folks. This is for awareness. This is for an understanding. This is to see the truth of the thing as it is, not how they taught it to you. And we go on from there. Family, thank you for walking this road with me today. I love y'all. God bless y'all, right? And as always, and until next time, look to find the beauty in a different view.